welcome to this special KUBS broadcast covering the third and fourth place game of the Northeast 2B District Tournament. We're at West Valley High School and ready to watch the Reardan Screaming Eagles face off against the Freeman Scotties as both teams get ready to head to state. Eyes are wide open to see how both teams will face off one another on this February afternoon. I'm Haley Bolliard, and beside me right now is Carter Brander, and we're just going to get rolling right into the pregame show. We'll start with Freeman. So Carter, what can we expect to see from the Scotties?
Well, Freeman is primarily an offensive-based team. They like to drive into the paint, they like to kick it out beyond the arc, and really like to control their offense. They don't like slipping up at all.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that, they have multiple talented scorers that make it hard to shut them down. They can just get anywhere on the court and pass it along. It's not like you can just get to one person and try and shut them down. They have incredible talent throughout their entire roster.
Yeah, and only 2 players are under 6 feet on the roster, with them both being freshmen standing at 5'10", so it's a rather large team.
Yes, for sure. It's always really fun to see that. And this team is also a super fast team. They move the ball around pretty quickly, and they can cause a lot of turnovers. So I'm excited to see what they'll do with that speed tonight while maintaining control of the ball.
Yeah, they are also a pretty aggressive team. They get more fouls when trying to grab rebounds, trying to get those boards. But they are very efficient when they do get those boards and get those putback points. That's how they end up winning their games.
Yeah, for sure. And so with that, this team also works really well both outside of the arc and in the paint. You cannot really get this team consolidated to one spot or the other. They can go from anywhere. So I like seeing that diversity that they have on this team. And so with that, stay tuned for more of our pregame show right here on Cubs FM, as we'll be going over the Screaming Eagles after this quick break. And welcome back to the pregame show. Again, I'm Haley Bolliard, and joining me is Carter Brandner. We have 5 minutes left before this game starts. After taking some time and discussing Freeman, we're going to get a look at Reardan. Carter, what can we expect from the Screaming Eagles?
Well, Frolov has gotten most of the points for the Screaming Eagles, getting them in the paint. He's a very big, aggressive guy. He's able to work off the glass and just floaters in the paint. So, look, expect him to be the guy that go to.
Yeah, for sure. And only being a junior, I'm also excited to see what he'll carry in the next year for the Screaming Eagles here. He also leads the team with rebounds. So a true all-around player there with Frolov. He cannot be shut down. He's just an absolute asset for them.
Yeah, and the season record shows competitiveness and the ability to adjust. They're able to fly around, adjust to any tempo and speed that the defense is causing them to play at.
Yeah, for sure. They play a bunch of teams with diverse styles, and no matter what they're faced with, they're able to kind of match that and still able to work with what they have on the court here. And their team loves to shoot, block, and steal. They get a lot of that action in there, so I'm excited to see what they'll do with that here today.
Only 4 of the 12 players on their roster are under 6 feet, so they're also a very lengthy team. The tallest player on Reardan is Trayson Singleton at 6'5".
Yeah, for sure. That's always really fun to see, and that is a sophomore, so he's got a few more years here for the Screaming Eagles. And the Screaming Eagles also have a really balanced lineup with multiple scoring options against those guard and post positions. So I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top for the scoring battle tonight.
Yeah, and they like to not foul, or they do like to foul quite a bit actually while going for those boards, but not around the perimeter. They are very disciplined around the perimeter. They are a very defensive pressure team when it comes all around the court, but inside that three-point line is where they got to watch out.
Yeah, for sure. And this team is pretty balanced on both the offensive and the defense there. And so the only losses this team has had all season as well are against Northwest Christian and who they're facing right here, the Scotties. And they're all known to be pretty good teams. So good season here for the Screaming Eagles. And so with that, let's just get rolling right into the lineup that we kind of hinted at there. And so let's see what we have for the matchup here today. So we do have the last time that these two met on the 10th. It went into double overtime here, and Freeman walked away with just a 2-point win there, so I am expecting another tight game here.
Yeah, Freeman's speed versus Reardan's control. Tempo will be everything tonight. If the Scotties push the pace, they're comfortable. If the Eagles slow it down and control the paint, that favors Reardan.
Yeah, for sure, and foul trouble could really be the deciding factor for this game. Both of these teams play pretty aggressive, so whichever squad stays more disciplined may control the fourth quarter.
Freeman's height advantage could dominate the boards, but Reardan's quick hands and transition game can flip the momentum fast.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be really fun to see. And perimeter shooting battle here today. Both teams can score both inside and out. And so I'm really excited to see what those defensive rotations are going to be like. And closeouts will be critical for this game, so that'll also be really fun to see.
Yeah, depth matters. In a physical, potentially fast-paced game, bench production could be just the difference in the late stages of that game.
Yeah, for sure. And so that pretty much wraps up our matchup here. So we're going to take a very quick break and be back for our starters right after this. And welcome back to this KUBS broadcast. We are ready to get our starters of the games out onto the court here. Again, we have Reardan versus Freeman, and Freeman will be our visiting team today. So we're going to start with their lineup. So first up, they have number 1. This is a senior playing the forward and guard position, standing at 6'1", Logan Schultz. First up for the Screamin' Eagles here, we have number 1. This is a senior guard. He stands at 5'10". That's Blake Winecoop. Next up here for the for the Scotties, we have number 2. This is a senior guard at 6'1". That's Micah Hodges. Then for the Screamin' Eagles, we have number 3, a senior guard at 6 foot, Hunter Flock. Next for the Scotties, we have number 3. This is a sophomore guard at 6 foot, Micah Olson. Then for the Screamin' Eagles, we have number 22, a junior guard at 6'1", Justin Vaughn. Next for the Scotties, we have number 5. This is a freshman guard at 5'10", Maddox Hodges. Then for the Screamin' Eagles, we have number 23, a junior guard at 6'3", Maverick Sabota. And rounding out the lineup here for the Scotties, we're going to have number 32, a senior playing the forward and guard position at 6'4", Finn LaPointe. And last out here for the Screamin' Eagles, number 33, a junior forward standing at 6'3", Fred Frolov. All right, Carter, you know what time of day it is. We have our starters rolling out, so we get to play the jump game. Who do you think is going to win the jump here today?
I think LaPointe's going to take it. He's got the length on Frolov, and also I've noticed he tends to jump a little bit higher on these tip-offs, so I'm going to take LaPointe.
Okay, I will gladly stick with the Screamin' Eagles on this one. I know they've been pretty good with their tip-offs here, so I have some faith in their abilities to win the jump. So stepping into that center jump circle here for the Scotties, we do have LaPointe standing at 6'4", and Eagles now stepping out here are sending Frolov on in there. Frolov does stand at 6'3", so only a 1-inch difference here. And so now refs getting ready to step into that jump circle and get this game rolling. Still confident with your pick?
Yes.
All right. Ball is tipped, and it's tipped forward with LaPointe there. He gives it into the hands of Micah Hodges. They're going to work down that left side of the court here. Swing down on that right side now with Hodges. Now back out towards the point there. We're going to turn around into the paint, lose control there, but it's picked back up by Schultz. Gets it under the basket and puts that shot up, but it will not sink. Rebound is loose. Eventually, Maddox Hodges picks that one up, shoots it over to his brother up for a three, but it will not sink. Rebound goes out of bounds. They're going to call that one off of the hands of the Scotties. Intense start to this game. We'll have Wynkoop inbound this one for the Screamin' Eagles. Hand it over to Sabota. Sabota jogging through the backcourt here. He'll take it over the Eagle logo, hand it off to Flaw on this right wing. Back off to Sabota, deep in between circles there. Circle around towards that left side. Now pass in to Frolov. Now back over to Sabota at the left wing. We'll find the block now up for two from Wynkoop, and that will sink. First points of the game go to the Screamin' Eagles. Score is 2-0 with 7:05 left in the first. And Micah Hodges hands that one over to his brother Maddox. Now back down on this left side. We're going to circle around with Micah Hodges down that right wing. Hand back to Maddox on the right. He'll step up into the lane, up for two, and that one will not sink. Rebound is loose, and it goes out of bounds. And that one will be off of the hands of the Screamin' Eagles there. So we will be having Scotties inbound that one. That is LaPointe set to inbound. Gives that one over to Schultz. Now up here in between circles, Maddox Hodges saves it from going out of bounds. He'll drive up towards the top of the arc. Swing back over towards this left side. Now up for three, and that's left of the rim for Olsen. Picked back up, shot out to Micah Hodges. Up for a three, and that one will be good there. He'll bring the score 3-2. Scotties up by 1 point. 6:24 left in the first quarter. As Sabota hands this one over to Vaughn. Now we'll find Flaw here on the right wing. Give it back off towards that left side here. Bounce past that one into Frolov at the top of the arc. Now on this right block, we have Flaw trying to hand it over to Wynkoop, but it's stolen away by the Scotties there. Have Schultz handing that one over to Maddox Hodges as he crosses the Eagle logo, goes down that left side, hand over to LaPointe. Now we're going to take it back down that right wing with Maddox Hodges. Takes it in towards the block, shoots out left corner. Now left wing, up for three from Olsen. That one will not sink, and the rebound will go out of bounds. They're going to call that off of the hands of the Scotties. So Screamin' Eagles inbounding this one. That will be Sabota handing it over to Vaughn. Vaughn taking this one and passing it over to Flaw on this right wing. Now back to Vaughn. He goes up for a deep three at the top, but it will not sink, and that's rebounded by Micah Hodges. He'll take this one across the timeline, going down towards that left wing here. Hand over to Olsen. Now we'll find Maddox Hodges in the jump circle. Works it down, going in towards that right lane. Trips under the basket and slides out of bounds. But they will call the last touch there to be off of the hands of the Screamin' Eagles. So Scotties inbounding. That's Olsen, set to inbound underneath this basket. 15 on that shot clock. Gets this one way out here to Micah Hodges deep on this right side, directing some traffic. 10 left on that clock now. Maddox Hodges on the left, takes it up towards the point. Now drives down the left lane, loses control there, but the Screamin' Eagles will be the last ones in contact with it. So Scotties to inbound this one again with only 4 seconds left on their shot clock. Refs handing the ball over to Olsen, who inbounds to LaPointe. Picks it up, puts it up for two, but it's short of the rim there. And it'll be rebounded by Sabota. Lobs a pass over to Frolov, who finds the left block up for two, but that will not sink. Grabs his own rebound. His putback shot will sink there from Frolov. Now we have the Screamin' Eagles up by one as the score reads 4-3 with 4:47 left in the first quarter. Have LaPointe in between circles there, drive down that right lane, up for two. That will sink from LaPointe there. Score is now 5-4. Scotties taking the lead back over with 4:33 left in this first part of the game. Gonna get it off to Vaughn on that left side. Now Flaw handing it to Sabota at the point, up for three. Drains that one right on in there. 7-5 now reads that score with 4:19 left in the first quarter. Micah Hodges taking it over the timeline, handing it over to LaPointe down that left lane. Tries to pass it over to Schultz, but it's stolen away by Vaughn. Vaughn on the fast break down that left lane. Turns around at the block to put it up for two, but it will not sink that time for him. Schultz steals the rebound away. He'll hand it over to Maddox Hodges, finding the right wing. will work up towards that key there, hand it back out, and up for 2 in the paint, and that will be good from Micah Hodges. Score is tied 7-7, 3:45 left in the first quarter, and Sabota passes this one over to Flaw on that far sideline. Now back to Sabota. Find that left slot, drive into the paint, up for 2 from Flaw, but it falls short of the rim. Rebounded by the Screaming Eagles, but had to feed it in to the Scotties to save it from going out of bounds. Maddox Hodges on that far sideline, hands it to his brother Micah, drives down at the left elbow, up for a 2, but it will not sink. He grabs his own rebound, finds his brother right wing, drains a 3 from that right side. 10-7 now reads that score with 3:10 left in the first quarter. We have Hunter Flaw on that far sideline for the Screaming Eagles, now handing it back to Sabota. Now we'll find Winecoop at the free throw line, up for 2, but it's back of the rim. And Micah Hodges tried to grab that rebound. Ball will bounce out of bounds, but the Eagles touch it last. And now we're going to have a timeout called, so we'll take a quick break too and be right back after this. And welcome back to this KUBS Sports broadcast. We have both teams stepping back out onto the court here. And score right now reads 10-7. Scotties are up by 3 right now. Intense first part of this first quarter we've been seeing. And we'll be sending Olsen to inbound this one for the Scotties underneath the Eagles basket here. Officials getting ready to hand that ball over to him. He's looking for that pass, gets it off to Maddox Hodges. Hodges getting some backcourt pressure here from the Screaming Eagles. Try to work down that far sideline, get it to the point, drive down the left lane, hand it over, and that's up for 2, but no good from Schultz. Rebounded by the Screaming Eagles. Have Sabota taking this one over the timeline, gets it up to the point, and tries to find Frolov under the basket, but ball gets knocked up and out of bounds, and that's off of the hands of the Scotties. So Sabota inbounding for Reardan with 22 seconds left on this shot clock. Looking for his pass here, gets it off to Vaughn on the left side. Now Frolov at that free throw line, up for 2, and that drains right on in there. Score is now 10-9 with 2:25 left in the first. Maddox Hodges on the far sideline. Hodges hands that one off to Olsen. He'll take it around towards that left block. Trying to look for a pass there, chucks it back out to Hodges at the point. Take it into the paint now. Try to go up under the basket, but it's just right of the rim, and Frolov gets that rebound. He'll hand it over to Sabota, who takes it up towards the top of the arc here. Step back between circles. Directing some traffic here. Trying to get his way around that left side. He'll find that left arc now. Lobs a pass out here on this right wing. Now we'll get it at that right corner. Up for a deep 2 there from Vaughn. And that one will sink to bring the score 11-10 with 1:37 left in the first quarter. Maddox Hodges taking it across that timeline. Get it off and we'll almost step back over the timeline, but saved there by Micah Hodges. Swing down on that right side again. Drive up towards the block, but lose control there. Ball will go out of bounds. That is off of the hands of the Scotties. Reardan to inbound this one underneath the basket for the Scotties, who are running in a quick sub.
Coming in for the Scotties is number 55, John Mendenhall.
So that leaves Karsten Flaw to inbound to Vaughn. Vaughn takes this one across the Eagle logo, hands back to Karsten Flaw. Now we'll get it to Frolov, left corner, up for 3, but it will not sink. Hunter Flaw gets that rebound, finds Sabota, right short corner, up for 2, hits the right side of the rim and will not sink. Vaughn picks it back up. We'll swing it down towards this right wing now with Sabota. Chuck a pass down on that left side. We have Karsten Flaw up for the 3, and that one drains on in. Score is now 14-10 with 47 seconds left in the first. Maddox Hodges takes this one across the timeline here for the Scotties, finds the point, then drives down towards that left block. Passes that one over to Olsen. It's going to go up for two, left block, but the shot will not sink. It's rebounded by Mendenhall. Gets it off to LaPointe, deep on that right side, but the shot won't fall for that one. Sabota grabs the rebound. Sabota drives up into the paint. He's going to go up for two to do it himself. His shot will fall short of the basket and roll out of bounds, but the Scotties will be the last ones to touch it there. And we also have a sub rolling in here for Freeman.
Coming in for Freeman is number 1, Logan Schultz.
So we have Sabota to inbound, 19.4 seconds left in the first. Shot clocks are off. We have Frolov finding the left lane, getting tripped up, tries to feed it out, but he will end up getting that travel called on him. So now Freeman to inbound this one with 15.4 seconds left. Also going to be running in another sub.
Coming in for the Scotties, number 3, Micah Olson.
So that's Hodges, Maddox Hodges inbound. Oh, they're going to switch it up on me. Micah Hodges inbounding for the Scotties. Looking for his pass there, hands it to his brother Maddox now. He'll be taking this one down that far sideline, driving off and handing it over to Olsen. Now we'll find this left wing back swinging around towards that right side now. Maddox Hodges driving up inside of the arc there, goes up for the two, but it will not sink. Frolov grabs the rebound, and that will be the end of the first quarter of action. Score is Eagles 14 and the Scotties with 10. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. And welcome back to this KUBS basketball broadcast. Both teams stepping out to get this second quarter of action started here. We'll have the Screamin' Eagles to inbound. That is Karsten Flaw, ready to inbound from the far sideline. He'll give that one over to Sabota, who takes this across the Eagle, goes down that left side, finds Vaughn at the block, up for two, and that is good from Vaughn. Score is 16-10 with the Eagles in the lead. 7:47 left in the second quarter. Gonna get it down with Olsen on this left side of the court. Hand it to LaPointe, who takes it towards that right block. It's in the paint, trying to work his way under the basket. Puts it up for two, and that'll sink from Olsen. Score now reads 16-12, 7:30 left in the first half as that's Hunter Flaw, goes up for two, but the shot will not sink. Rebounded there by Olsen. But we have a foul called up here on the play, and I believe this one will be going against the Screamin' Eagles.
That'll be against number 33, Fred Frolov, for his first personal, and the Screamin' Eagles' first team foul.
And we also had a sub roll in there. That will be Schultz coming in here for the Scotties. We'll have Maddox Hodges go down towards that right block, hand it back out on the right slot here. Gonna circle around, hand it back to Maddox Hodges, who takes it down, gets it to LaPointe on the left, trying to get it towards that block, hand back out on that right wing with Schultz. It's under the basket, goes up for the two, but it will not sink there. And the rebound is in the safety of Sabota. Sabota lobs a pass out here to Karsten Flaw, up for two from the short corner, and that will sink.
You finally get to see Reardan's offensive push just go down the court, instantly getting those 2 points.
Yeah, it's really fun to see there from the Screamin' Eagles. The score now is 8-12, timeout called, so we're going to take a quick break too, and we'll be right back after this. And welcome back to this Cubs Sports broadcast. Coming back in after this timeout with 6:45 left on the clock for the second quarter. We'll be having LaPointe inbound this one for the Scotties. Officials handing him that ball. Get it off to Maddox Hodges in the backcourt. Hodges taking it through the jump circle as he drives down and hands it off on that right side. Gonna get it back to LaPointe, getting stuck between circles here. Drive down in from that left block, up for two. The shot will not fall there from Micah Hodges, but we do have a foul drawn up here on the play, so it's to the charity stripe for Hodges.
That foul will be against number 2, Karsten Flaw, for his first personal and their second team foul.
So now we have Micah Hodges to go to the free throw line here. Ready for his first shot. That one is up from Hodges, and it hits the right side of the rim and will not sink that time. One more shot left here from Hodges. Scores remaining 18-12 for right now. 6:32 left in the second. Officials handing him that ball, set and ready for his second shot. Shot is up from Hodges, and that one also will swirl on out of there. Sabota stealing the rebound here for the Screaming Eagles. Tries to get it off to Flaw on this side, and Scotties tip that one back, and it'll go out of bounds, but that's off of the hands of Freeman. So now we have Sabota to inbound, literally from right in front of our faces here. He'll hand that one over to Vaughn, and now back to Sabota on this near sideline. He'll go off in between circles there. Try and pass it off to Frolov on that left elbow. Now Vaughn under the basket, almost gets it stolen away, but regains it there. Up for two from Vaughn, and that one will bounce in there. Score is now 20-12 with 6:07 left in the second. LaPointe handing that over to Maddox Hodges. Takes it across the timeline, hands over to his brother deep on that right side. Back off to Maddox at the top of the point, but it's stolen away by Sabota. Sabota works his way down the court, hands that one over to Karsten Flaw, almost losing it, but picks it back up. Now Vaughn, deep three from in between circles there. Shot's no good, but the Scotties get the rebound. Eagles steal it back away, get it off to Hunter Flaw on that left side. Now Vaughn, left corner, up for three, but it will not sink. That is rebounded by Schultz. He'll hand it over to LaPointe. Now Maddox Hodges in control here for the Scotties. Pass that one in to Mendenhall, who's now on that right wing. Try and hand it back, but the ball will bounce out of bounds, and that's going to be off of the hands of the Scotties there.
Yeah, it looked like Schultz just lost control of the ball there.
So now we'll be having Karsten Flaw inbound this one to Sabota. Sabota takes it across the Eagle logo here. He's going to draw off towards this right side. Now take it around towards the left. Hand to Frolov at the free throw line. Vaughn, left wing, up for three, back of the rim. Maddox Hodges jumps up and steals that rebound, but Sabota gets it back. Tries to pass it over to Karsten Flaw, but now it is stolen away by LaPointe. Hand that one over to Maddox Hodges, now down on this left side now with his brother Micah. Micah Hodges stepping back towards this timeline here on the far sideline. Circles back around on that right side, hands it over to Schultz. 11 seconds left on that shot clock as we find Maddox Hodges driving in towards that left block. Pass that one over, and it's intended for LaPointe, but he gets tripped up and falls into Reardan's cheerleaders there. So ball will go out of bounds off the hands of Freeman. And inbounding here for the Screaming Eagles will be Karsten Flaw, and a sub rolling in for Freeman.
Sub coming in is number 3, Micah Olson.
So again, we have Karsten Flaw inbounding for the Screaming Eagles. He'll give it over to Sabota. Sabota taking this one across the timeline, calls out a play. Hands it to Hunter Flaw. Now back to Sabota, who takes it right wing. Try and drive in towards the lane. Hands it back out to Vaughn at the right corner. Up for three, and that is right on the money for Justin Vaughn.
Exactly what they drew up there. That's the play that happened in practice, 100%.
23-12 is now that score with 4:07 left in the second. Maddox Hodges hands it to his brother Micah there, who takes it around that right side. He's on that right wing now, step up towards the block. He's going to try and go up for two, but finds Frolov instead. And a foul drawn up there. And this one will be going against the Scotties.
Fouls on number 2, Micah Hodges, for his first personal, and the Scotties' first team foul.
And so now we have Karsten Flaw inbounding to Sabota. Sabota keeping it a bit slower through the backcourt here. Takes it up between circles, finds Vaughn left wing. Back to Sabota, deep on that left side, calls out of the play. Hands it back over to Vaughn, now to Sabota again. Now we'll get it to Hunter Flaw, left corner, up for three. Hits the side of the rim, but still manages to fall in. Score brought up 26-12, 3:27 left in the second quarter. Maddox Hodges goes down that right block, up for two. Sabota tries to smack his shot down, but gets a little bit too aggressive with that one. So we'll send Maddox Hodges to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that one will be against Sabota for his first personal and the Screaming Eagles' third team foul.
So now we have Maddox Hodges, the freshman, at the free throw line. First shot is up from Hodges, sinks right on in there to bring the score 26-13. Eagles now double the score of the Scotties here. 3:23 left in the second quarter. One more shot from Hodges. That one is up, and it is just as good as the first. 26-14 the score now. 3:23 left. We're going to take a quick break with this timeout, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to this Cubs sports broadcast. Both teams going to be stepping back out onto the court after that timeout. We'll be having Karsten Flada inbound for the Screamin' Eagles here. Officials handing him that ball. Now over to Sabota. Sabota calls out a play in the backcourt. Crossing the timeline as he goes around towards that left side. Get it to Hunter Flaw at the point. Now swing down to Vaughn on this right corner. Circle back around. Getting up towards that center jump circle, hand it back to Sabota. 10 seconds left on that shot clock with Sabota on the right wing. He'll hand that one into Frolov. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Frolov has to go up for a last-second shot. It will not sink, but there was some interference with that shot, so we'll be sending Fred Frolov to the free throw line.
That foul will be on number 2, Micah Hodges, his second personal, and the Freeman Scotties' second team foul.
So now we have Fred Frolov's first shot is up, hits the back of the iron, but still manages to fall in for Frolov. He'll bring the score 27-14 with 2:53 left in the second quarter here. One more shot from Frolov. That one is up. Back of the iron, no good, and that is rebounded by LaPointe. He'll hand that one over to Maddox Hodges, who takes it down on that right side. Get it up towards the top of the arc. Now swing down this left side. Get it back off on the right with Maddox Hodges. Hand it over to his brother, who takes it up towards the right slot. 10 seconds left on that shot clock, and we have Mendenhall in the paint. Puts the shot up for two, and his shot will sink, and he still gets the chance to turn that two into a three-point here with a foul called against the Screamin' Eagles.
That foul will be called on number 22, Justin Vaughn, his first personal, and the Screamin' Eagles' fourth team foul.
One shot here from Mendenhall. That one is up, and that swishes on in for him. 27-17 is now that score with 2:30 left in the second quarter. Sabota in control here for Reardan. He'll take it across the timeline. Pass that one over to Hunter Flaw, right wing. Now Vaughn at the point, up for the three. It hits the back of the rim. Will not be good with that one. That's rebounded by Micah Hodges. He'll work it across that Eagle logo, find that left lane, turn around, and almost get it knocked down there. Tries to put a shot up, but it hits the bottom of the glass. Mendenhall picks up his rebound, tries to feed it over to LaPointe, but Vaughn will steal it away. Hand it to Sabota. Sabota slowing down the pace as he crosses the timeline. Gets off on this right side, and we have a foul called here. This one will be going against the Scotties.
That'll be going against number 32, Finn LaPointe, his first personal, and the Scotties' third team foul.
So now we have Sabota to inbound from this near sideline. Officials handing him that ball. He gets it over to Vaughn. Vaughn takes it to the top of the arc. Stepping back between circles now, trying to get on that right side. He'll go up into the paint, hand it to Frolov at the block. Up for two from Frolov, and that'll sink.
That spin move was immaculate there.
29-17 is now that score with 1:34 left in the first half. So we have Micah Hodges try and drive in and pass that one over to Mendenhall, but we do have a foul called up here on the play.
That foul will be called on number 33, Fred Frolov, his second personal and the 5th team foul for the Screaming Eagles.
And that does send the Scotties into bonus now, so we'll have Micah Hodges at the free throw line. Officials handing him the ball, ready for his first shot here. Just getting set and ready. First shot up from Hodges. That one will sink in to bring our score 29-18. Sub coming in for Reardan.
Sub coming in is number 40, Trayson Singleton.
One more shot left for Micah Hodges. Officials handing him that ball. Now we have 1:28 left in the second quarter. Shot is up from Hodges, and that one sinks perfectly on in to bring the score 29-19. 1:25 left in the second quarter. Sabota in control for the Screaming Eagles, hands it to Hunter Flaw at the right wing, off to Vaughn on the right slot. Now back to Flaw deep on this right side. He'll circle up and hand it off on the left wing now with Sabota. Sabota gets it back off, and we're in between circles with Vaughn now. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll drive in towards that block, up for two, but the shot will not sink. It'll go out of bounds, and the Screaming Eagles are the last ones with contact on it, so we'll be sending Micah Olson to inbound for the Scotties here. 1:02 left in the second. Inbounds that one to Maddox Hodges. Takes it down that far sideline. Hodges finding that right wing, handing it over to Olson. Olson on the right wing, trying to circle up towards the elbow, finds Micah Hodges open on the right wing. He will drain a three. Score is now 29-22 with 40 seconds remaining in this half of the game. So we have Sabota taking it across the timeline. Hands that one over to Hunter Flaw, who finds Vaughn on the right wing. Take it up to the free throw line. No look pass over to Karsten Flaw on the left wing, up for three, but it will not sink. And Micah Hodges grabs his rebound. Passes that one over to his brother, who will keep it slow as he crosses the timeline. 15 seconds left in this half. And that one back over to Micah Hodges, who drives down towards the right block, up for two. Shot will swirl in to bring our score 29-24. 2 seconds left here in this quarter. Last chance shot up from Sabota, but it's right of the rim. And that will conclude the first half of action here. Score is Screaming Eagles with 29 and the Scotties with 24. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be here with our halftime yap right after this. welcome to our halftime yap. This game has been one of the most entertaining games that I have seen so far. Carter, take us away. What have you enjoyed watching about this game?
I've enjoyed the immense defensive pressure both teams have been putting forth on both offenses. Both teams have had struggles getting into the paint and finishing at the rim. For example, Frolov hasn't been able to get up and play his normal game due to the amount of pressure that LaPointe has had on him.
Yeah, for sure. The boxing out has been a major factor here for this game. I think playing each other only about a week ago, I think they played on Wednesday of last week, but I'm not certain on that. But recently they played each other, so they kind of came into this game with a game plan for how they're going to force the other team to switch up their styles. And even with the Screaming Eagles not being able to get Frolov at those blocks like he likes to be, they have still been really strong both outside of the arc, finding the short corners, getting up any shots that they can. But man, the Scotties have also just been on fire here. I mean, they have not slowed down. This has just been a constant game of back and forth. You never really know how it's going to go here.
Yeah, and I'm especially surprised by Vaughn's capabilities to hit threes tonight. I think he's 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, having all of his points be three-pointers.
Yeah, that's been absolutely crazy to see. He's just finding those corners and putting up the shots, and he's been pretty accurate tonight. It's been really fun to see that because typically we see him try and drive more inside of the arc there. So seeing, like we mentioned in our pregame, the Reardan Screaming Eagles adapting to the style that the Scotties are forcing on them here is just a really fun thing to experience.
Yeah, and Carson Flaw has been really effective coming in there off the bench. He has 5 points right now. I think leading the bench points, and he's been hitting threes. He's hit inside on that left short corner like you mentioned, and he's been able to find those open passes beyond the arc when he drives.
Yes, for sure. And now looking at the Scotties here, Maddox Hodges has been an absolute unit for them out here on the court today. He's gone off on that right wing quite a few times here and tried to get some threes up there. And as a freshman, I mean, that's just really fun to see.
Yeah, Maddox has always been this type of player. He's very consistent when it comes beyond the arc. He has 8 points right now. I think leading his team, his brother Micah's leading the team with 9 points. He has 8. So it's definitely, the brothers are definitely giving this team momentum.
Yeah, for sure. And I think having that chemistry between the two brothers here has been really beneficial for the Scotties here. You can just kind of see that they're experienced together. They know how to set each other up for success. So seeing that partnership between those two has been really fun, as well as LaPointe picking up those rebounds for them, shooting it back out to them. This team has just been really unified today, and it's really fun to see them work so well together.
Yeah, and the defense for the Freeman Scotties, it started off really rough, started off really slow, but then they found their rhythm, ended up only giving up, I think, 2 points in the last 3 minutes of that second quarter.
Yeah, that was definitely a low-scoring time for both of the teams here, and I think, yeah, they've both been really strong teams on all sides of it, which going into state, they really just have been getting that focus going now, and so with just 50 seconds here, we're going to wrap up our halftime yap, and we'll be right back after this. And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We are now ready to get rolling into the third quarter of action here. As a reminder, that score is Screaming Eagles with 29 points and the Freeman Scotties with 24. Only a 5-point difference right now. Last time we did see these teams go into double overtime, so we could be looking at that again here today. And we have Maddox Hodges inbounding here for the Scotties. He's going to give that off to his brother Micah. Takes it down on that left side here. Hodges looking for a pass there, finds Maddox again, deep between circles. He'll drive off and hand it to Olsen on this side. And up for 2, but it will not sink. That is rebounded by Schultz, fed back outside of the arc. And we'll have Micah Hodges up for that 3, and that'll go right on in there. Go ahead.
That brotherly chemistry, like we were just talking about, is definitely coming into effect.
Yes, for sure. So that brings our score now 29-27 with 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter here. So we have Vaughn on this left side handing over to Sabota just inside the arc there. He'll take it up into the paint there, turn around, go for a reverse layup, and that will work out there for Sabota to bring our score 31-27. Now we have Maddox Hodges taking it across the timeline with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Off to his brother Micah, now down to Olsen on the right wing. Gonna step up in towards that right block. The ball rolls out of bounds. That will be off of the hands of the Screaming Eagles there. So although LaPointe trailed it, the Reardan Screaming Eagles did touch it last, so we have LaPointe inbounding that one. Get it off to Maddox Hodges here on this right side. Now we'll find that right corner up for three from Olsen, but it will not sink. And Frolov picking up the rebound here for Reardan. He'll be on the fast break down the far sideline, finds the right wing, step up into the paint for that reverse layup. You like that one, Carter. Tell us about it.
That was definitely one of the better layups I've seen tonight, finishing efficiently there.
Yeah, just floated right on in there. No effort for Frolov. 33-27 now. That score, 6:20 left in the third. So we have Micah Hodges deep on this right side, looking for a pass, gets it to LaPointe between circles, but it goes behind that halfway mark here. So an over and back called against the Freeman Scotties. Possession handed back to the Screaming Eagles. So we'll be having Sabota go to inbound this one for the Reardan Screaming Eagles. That will be Sabota inbounding from this near sideline right in front of the timetable. Hand it over to Vaughn, who takes it up deep between circles here. Back over to Sabota on this left side. Now Hunter Flaw on the left wing finds Sabota right near that left block, trying to circle around into the paint, feeds it to Frolov at the point. Goes up into the paint, up for two, almost sinks in there, but it's knocked down by who I believe that was LaPointe there. So Scotties get this one, and now we have Micah Hodges handing it over to Olsen on this right wing. He'll work down towards that left side now. Micah Hodges up for three, left slot, but it does not make it into the rim. It's rebounded there by Sabota. He'll take it up towards the top of the arc there, drive into the paint. Hand it back over to Vaughn on that right side. Now we have Hunter Flaw, right wing, looking for a way in. 15 seconds left on that shot clock. Vaughn on the left wing now, trying to get towards that block, drives under the basket, shot put up for two. Has some resistance, but that'll sink for Flaw. Score is now 35-27, 5:08 left in the third. Now we have Olsen off on that left side, trying to hand it over to this right side, but a bit of a miscommunication will send that one out of bounds. So Reardan to inbound from this near sideline right in front of the Scotties bench. That's Sabota inbounding to Vaughn. Vaughn hands it back over to Sabota on this left side. Now back to Vaughn on the right. Gets it off to Frolov just inside the key. Now back to Vaughn at the point, up for three. Drains that in there. They'll bring the score 38-27 with 4:44 left in the third quarter. Micah Hodges crosses the timeline for Freeman as a timeout gets called, so we'll take a quick break too and be right back after this. And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. Score right now is 38-27. So we have the Scotties inbounding right here at this near sideline. That is Schultz set to inbound. Hands that one over to Maddox Hodges in the backcourt. He'll take this one across the timeline, looking at the top of the arc there. Hands that one over to Mendenhall at the point. Over to Micah Hodges, who takes it at the slot. Back into Mendenhall in the paint. Tries to drive in and go up for two. The shot will not sink. However, he will get the chance to make up the points.
Yeah, that foul will be called on number 33, Fred Frolov, for his third personal, and the Eagles' first team foul.
Yeah, Frolov needing to watch those fouls here before he gets into some trouble. Mendenhall's first shot is up. It hits the back of the iron, almost falls in there, but does tip off towards that right side. So score remaining 38-27 for the time being. One more shot here from Mendenhall. That one is up. It's front of the rim this time, and Frolov grabs the rebound for the Screaming Eagles. He'll hand it over to Sabota. Sabota taking this one across the timeline, keeping this one a bit more controlled. Finds Frolov inside of the arc there. He's at the right block, up for two, and that will float on in for Frolov. Score is now 40-27 with 4:08 left in this third quarter. Gonna get it off in between circles here. Drive down that left lane, up for two from the block, but that does not sink from the point. Rebounded by the Scotties, though. They're gonna find Micah Hodges at the top of the arc. Give it back over to Schultz, who drives into the paint but trips, and Frolov steals that one away. No look pass behind it. Shoulder to Sabota on this left side here. Now we'll find Weinkoop at the left wing. Take it up to the free throw line, up for two, but it will not sink, and it's Micah Hodges with the rebound. Over to his brother Maddox on that left side. Now back to Micah, right wing, up for a three. Barely bounces out of there. Sabota jumping up to grab the rebound, but there's a fight for it. We'll have a jump ball called. This one will go to the Screaming Eagles, who are also rolling in a sub.
Subbing in is number 2, Carson Flaw.
And so now we have Sabota to inbound for the Screaming Eagles here. Hands that one over to Vaughn. Vaughn keeping it slow through the backcourt here. Hands it back over to Sabota. Sabota back to Vaughn here on this side of the timeline. Gets it off to Weinkoop on that left. Now we're deep on this left side with Vaughn, trying to direct some traffic here. He'll drive in towards that left block, up for a deep two, but it will not sink, and that is Mendenhall with the rebound. Maddox Hodges now taking this one down this right side for the Scotties. Tries to get to the block, but ends up losing control there, and Sabota will steal the ball away here for the Screaming Eagles. Sabota getting up into the paint there, gets it off to Karsten Flaw at that right block, up for two, and that will sink for Flaw. 42-27 now reads that score with 2:39 left in the third quarter. Maddox Hodges looking for a pass here, gets it off to Schultz on this right wing, trying to drive under the basket. Reardan putting up a good fight, passes it out towards that left corner, up for three, and that will sink there from Micah Hodges. Score is now 42-30 with 2:17 left in the third. Justin Vaughn taking this one across the timeline here, hands that over to Hunter Flaw at the right wing, takes it under the basket, tries to send it over to Vaughn at the left corner. Ball is interfered there by Maddox Hodges and out of bounds, so Eagles to inbound this one, and a sub to check in for the Scotties.
Sub coming in is number 3, Micah Olsen.
So now we have Sabota inbounding from right in front of his bench here, looking for that inbound pass here. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it off to Hunter Flaw on the left wing, now off to Karsten deep on that right side. He's trying to get his way around the Scotties here. 8 seconds remaining on that shot clock. Sabota, right lane. 3 seconds left as he chucks the pass out to Vaughn at the right corner, up for three. The shot will not sink there, and it's rebounded by Micah Hodges. Shoots this one over to Olsen on the right side. Now off to Maddox Hodges, left wing, up for three, but it hits the right side of the rim. His shot will not sink, and now we have possession going over to the Screaming Eagles.
It appears the ball hit the shot clock on that shot.
So we have Sabota inbounding this one to Vaughn. Vaughn giving it back over to Sabota. Got to keep it slow through the backcourt here. Have Vaughn on this right side, back over to Sabota. Sabota deep on that right side, trying to drive towards the wing. Swing back off on this left wing with Vaughn. Vaughn driving up towards the top, handing it over to Hunter Flaw, right wing. We have 7 seconds left on our shot clock as he drives up towards the block, turns around, has to put up a shot. It does not find the rim. And that one is a shot clock violation against the Screaming Eagles. And we have a timeout called, so we're going to take a quick break too and be right back after this. And welcome back to this Cubs Sports broadcast. We have the Screaming Eagles back out on the court now as the Scotties take up their last moments of that timeout. And we'll have the Scotties inbounding this one from under the Eagles basket, or at least they should be. There we go. We're going to send Olsen down to inbound this one for the Scotties. We have 1:09 left in this third quarter. Olsen hands that one over to Maddox Hodges. He'll take this one up over the Eagle logo. Working towards the top of the arc, swing down on this right wing, passes that one into Mendenhall at the right block, tries to get a shot put up. It will not work there. It gets stuffed down a bit, so we have a jump ball called, and this one will go towards the Scotties. So Olsen back to inbound. We have 19 seconds left on the shot clock. Olsen looking for an inbound pass, gets it off to Micah Hodges deep on this right side. Circle back around, hand it off to his brother Maddox. Calls out a play as he steps between circles. Trying to direct some traffic here, drive down on this right wing. Back off to his brother at the point, up for a deep three. It hits the front of the rim. Mendenhall grabs his rebound, his putback shot also will not sink. Gets his own putback on that one, and that will work out. He'll bring the score 42-32 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Have Sabota going down that near sideline, taking it down this left side now. Trying to get away from some defensive pressure here. He hands it off to Karsten Flaw. Now off to Frolov on the right lane. Frolov trying to get in the paint. Up for two from Frolov. The shot won't sink. He gets his rebound and his putback shot will work. 44-32 now that score. 4 seconds left in the quarter. We have Olsen go up for three, right wing. That shot will also work, and that will conclude our third quarter of action. 44-35 that score. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. Taking over on the play-by-play as Haley goes over to color. It'll be Reardan's ball as we start the fourth quarter. Sabota inbounding to Vaughn. Vaughn has the ball now on the right side on his own back half court. Going over to the left wing. Now over towards that right wing is Vaughn. Getting it into Frolov. Short corner. On the right block is Frolov now. Going up for two. Ends up traveling before he shoots though.
Yeah, Frolov finally trying to get those opportunities under the basket, but needs to remember to dribble while he moves his feet there.
Now Hodges now with the ball, bringing the ball up, going down this right side now, driving down the right lane, up for two, no good, off the side of the iron, rebounded by Freeman though. Now in the left wing is Micah Hodges. Hodges now passing it out to Maddox. Maddox driving short corner on the right wing now, passing it over to Olsen in the right corner. Driving baseline is Olsen, getting it over to Mendenhall, now kicking it out to Hodges. Hodges for three, that'll sink.
That was a beautiful shot there from Hodges. I feel like the Scotties did a good job of trying to get the focus in the paint and then had him sneak out there. That was well executed.
Now we have Frolov driving down in the right block, up for two, and that'll sink, bringing the score 46-38 with 6:57 left in the fourth quarter. Now we have Hodges bringing the ball up on the left side. It's Micah Hodges, now kicks it out to Olsen. Now over to Maddox. Hodges on this right side now, getting it in to the paint, up for two, no good, rebounded by Sabota.
Yeah, Sabota's been on fire with the rebounds tonight. He's able to get up there pretty high and snag them for the Reardan Screaming Eagles.
Now Vaughn with the ball on the right side, getting it over to the right wing with Frolov. Frolov for three, no good.
Yeah, a bit too much power on that for Frolov. He sailed it over the basket.
Ends up going out of bounds at the baseline on the Scotties. Will be Screaming Eagles ball. Sabota inbounding the ball now, getting it into Frolov. Frolov trying to get it over to Sabota. Gets stolen away by LaPointe. Looks like LaPointe steps out of bounds as he gets that steal.
Yeah, with big feet like that, you gotta watch where they land.
Sabota inbounding it now to Frolov. Frolov kicking it out to Sabota. Sabota on the right wing now. Now driving in is Vaughn. No good.
Yeah, he falls under the basket there. Shot will not sink, but no foul called on that.
Ends up going out of bounds on that far sideline. On the Scotties will be Screaming Eagles ball. Again, we have Sabota inbounding, getting it into Frolov on that right side. Now Frolov dribbling down now that right wing, now driving into the paint. Up for two off the glass, and that'll work for Frolov.
Yes, that's the Frolov we know and love in the paint.
10-point game now. Hodges up for three, deep three on that left wing, and that'll sink for Hodges.
Whatever they're feeding those Hodges brothers to get them to drain threes like that, I think the rest of the world needs to know.
Now, left wing is Sabota. Sabota now driving baseline, kicking it out. Now on the right wing is Vaughn. Vaughn for three, no good, off the iron, rebounded. Now driving in is Frolov, kicking it out. However, a travel called on Frolov before he could kick it out to Sabota there.
Yeah, Frolov's just trying to get the work done, but getting a bit carried away with the ball there.
Now we'll have Hodges inbounding it to his brother Maddox. Hodges. Maddox taking the ball up, crossing half court, going down this right side, handing it off to Olsen. Olsen kicking it over. Now we have Mendenhall kicking it out on the right wing to Hodges. Hodges to Olsen on the left slot area. Up for two now. Is good off the glass from Olsen.
Yeah, that one looked like it wanted to come out for a second, but the side of the basket looked pretty comfy.
Now Vaughn with the ball driving down the left side. Left wing area now. Giving it in the three-point line with Sabota. Sabota driving into the paint. Now kicking out right corner. Flaw for three, no good. Rebounded by Frolov. Frolov off the glass, that'll be good. Bringing the score 50-43 now.
Yeah, Frolov coming in strong for this fourth quarter here.
Now we have Hodges kicking it down to Olsen. Olsen driving baseline, goes up for it, no good. Rebounded by Sabota. Sabota now taking the ball down, crossing half court, staying central, up for three. No good. Rebounded by Hodges. Hodges kicks it out to Maddox. Now LaPointe on the right block, up for two, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Frolov. Frolov finds Sabota.
Yeah, the defensive pressure there from the Screaming Eagles kind of messed up that shot for him.
Yeah, and they will take a quick timeout. We'll take one too. We'll be right back after this short break. And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We are currently in the fourth quarter where the Screaming Eagles are facing up against the Freeman Scotties, and they're currently leading by 7 with 4:12 left in the fourth.
Yeah, looking to switch it up after that last game where a last-minute three put them into double overtime.
Yeah, that three came from Maddox Hodges as well, proving himself as a freshman. And now we have Sabota inbounding it to Vaughn. Vaughn now on his own back court. Now kicking it over to Sabota, crossing half court on the left side. Now in the left slot area. Now top of the key is Frolov. Frolov driving right lane, up for 2 off the glass, and that'll be good. Bring the score 52-43.
Yes, Frolov is loving that right side right now, getting back into his groove.
Now we have Hodges passing it to his brother. Now kicking it into the paint. Trying to find a pass, kicks it back out to Hodges. And looks like LaPointe lost it for a second, ends up kicking it out to Hodges, who passes it into the right block for Mendenhall, and it goes in, bringing the score 52-45 now.
Yeah, that was a good recovery there by the Scotties.
Now Sabota on the left side, bringing it more central now, kicking it back out to the left side to Flaw. Flaw to his brother. Now right elbow, right wing now driving down, kicking out to the left corner, up for 3, no good. Rebounded, gets his own rebound. Still a scramble for the ball.
Yeah, I think we turned into a bit of a wrestling match, dog pile, mix of sports here. That was kind of crazy, everybody on the floor. We also have Logan Schultz coming in here for the Scotties.
I mean, it's perfect timing if they were wrestling state tournament's happening right now. So
they're just in the mood. Matt Classic going on, they had to get in on the action.
Now we have Micah Hodges inbounding the ball for the Scotties. Gets it into his brother Maddox. Maddox now taking the ball up. Going down this right side now, handing it off to Micah. Micah driving down the right lane, up for 2 off the glass. That'll be good.
Yeah, that was a well-executed play there by Micah Hodges. He saw his holes, just went for it, and it was perfect.
Now Vaughn with the ball, kicking it over to the right side is Sabota. Sabota finding Flaw. Flaw gets it into Frolov, back out. Now it's on the right wing to Sabota. Sabota now driving baseline. Finding Vaughn in the paint, up for 2, off the front of the rim, and good.
Yeah, nice little shot there by Vaughn. It almost didn't want to go in, but luckily the wind blew in the right direction.
Now Maddox going up, and I
think he got tripped a little bit there, went up for a shot and kind of folded over on himself, balling out of bounds off of the hands of Hodges there.
Yeah, now we have Vaughn with the ball, taking it up the left side. Vaughn against Hodges. Hodges goes flying, and Vaughn ends up picking a foul.
Yeah, we kind of had a big conglomeration of people there, so we have a foul called up here against the Scotties. That goes to LaPointe for his second personal, and only the first team foul for the Scotties in this quarter.
Yeah, now Flaw kicks it out to his brother on the right wing. Now Frolov passing it down to Vaughn. Vaughn to Flaw on the right wing. Now right corner, driving down is Sabota, finding Vaughn in the paint, up for 2 off the glass, and that'll be good.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot there by Vaughn. Found his spot, was just able to make it work out there for the Screaming Eagles.
Now Hodges finds Olsen. Olsen driving down the middle now. Kicks it back out to LaPointe. LaPointe, floater from the left elbow, and that'll sink.
This back and forth is really fun to watch here. Both teams just 2 after 2 after 2. It's really fun to watch.
And Freeman will take a 30-second timeout. We'll take one too, and we'll be right back after this short break. And welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. We have 1 minute 34 seconds left in this game. 56-49 is your score, with the Reardan Screaming Eagles leading the Freeman Scotties. Vaughn with the ball, kicking it back out to Sabota. Sabota now driving down central, crossing half court. And now from the free throw line, kicks it out to Vaughn. Vaughn on the left side, now back over to Sabota on the right side. Sabota driving down the right wing. Now kicks it out to Frolov on that right slot. Back out to Sabota. Gets fouled on that play.
Yeah, foul is called up here, and the Screaming Eagles did only have 3 seconds left on that shot clock. Our foul went to Micah Olson for his first personal, Scotty's second team.
Now Sabota inbounds it to Frolov. Frolov on his own half, now crossing half court, giving it to Sabota, and gets fouled once again.
Yeah, this one is going to the other Micah on Freeman's rosters. That'll be Micah Hodges for his third personal, third team foul here for the Scotties.
Scotties are going to need to get those next 2 fouls quick. And yes, they get another one called on them.
Yeah, we had Frolov trying to work in the backcourt here, but a little bit too much pressure from Schultz. Draws up another foul to bring up his first personal, Scotty's fourth.
Now Sabota inbounding it to Vaughn. Vaughn shakes free from Maddox Hodges for a second, and Hodges ends up catching back up.
Yeah, so now we have a foul called here on Maddox Hodges, just back-to-back-to-back fouls here. That will be his first personal and the 5th foul for the Scotties to be sending the Screaming Eagles into bonus.
And now Vaughn will be taking his free throws. First one is up. That one will sink. Bring the score 57-49 now with 1 minute, 2 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, beautiful shot from Vaughn there. Didn't even hit the rim. We also have Mendenhall coming in here for the Scotties.
Now Vaughn's second shot. That'll be up and sink as well. 58-49 now. 9-point game with 1 minute, 2 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Now we have Hodges bringing the ball down, going down the left side, from the left slot, up for two off the rebound, and that'll be good.
Yeah, nice little putback there by the Scotties. Really nice teamwork there to bring our score 58-51 now.
And that'll bring up a Scotties timeout. We'll take a quick one too. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to this Cubs basketball broadcast. It is currently a 7-point game with the Reardan Screaming Eagles leading the Freeman Scotties. And we'll have Sabota inbounding it on his own baseline. And a hard foul now down near that baseline.
Yeah, we just had a ton of guys run down there, try and intercept that inbound pass. And so too much pressure here from the Scotties, forcing the Eagles out of bounds and kind of slamming them to the ground there. That's another foul on the point for his third personal, the 6th now for the Scotties.
And now Frolov will be at the line shooting two. 50 seconds left in this fourth quarter. First shot is up. That one will sink. Bring the score 59-51, sub coming in for the Scotties.
Yeah, Scotties bringing in Micah Olson in place of Logan Schultz here. That shot from Frolov was nothing short of perfection.
And now Frolov awaiting his second shot. Second shot is up. That one will also sink. Bring the score 60-51 with 50 seconds left in this fourth. Now Hodges with the ball on the right side, trying to drive down, kicks it out to Olson on the left wing, up for three, no good. Rebounded by Frolov. Frolov gets fouled in transition.
Yeah, that was a very heavy foul there by the Freeman Scotties. Just kind of ran over Frolov here, so that was Finn LaPointe with his 4th personal, and I believe that to be the 8th team foul for the Scotties.
And now Frolov will be sent to the line, shooting 2 with 38 seconds left in this 4th. Frolov getting ready for his first shot. First shot is up. That will sink. Bring the score 61-51, 38 seconds left in the 4th.
Yeah, Frolov on a good roll with his free throws right now, getting all those extra points here.
Now Frolov's second shot. That one will also sink. Perfect from the line tonight, I believe, is Frolov.
Yeah.
And now Hodges with the ball on the left side. Left wing up for 3. That one will not sink, off the back of the iron. And a foul called on the Scotties.
Yeah, Scotty's just trying to pick up that rebound there, but accidentally drawing up another foul in the process. That'll go to Mendenhall for his first personal, and the 9th team foul here for the Scotties.
Yeah, and that should send Sabota to the line. It will. 27 seconds left in this 4th quarter, up 11. Starting to get out of reach for the Scotties, don't you think?
Yeah, with only 27 seconds left, 11 points would be crazy, but you never know.
Sabota getting ready for his first shot. That one will be up and sink perfectly, bringing the score 63-51 with 27 seconds left in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, we also have Schultz rolling in here for the Scotties, hoping to get them 12 points in about 30 seconds here.
Now Sabota getting ready for his second shot. Second shot is up. That one will also sink perfectly. 64-51 is your score, 27 seconds left. Now we have Schultz bringing them down the ball. Puts up a quick 3 off the side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Hodges. Hodges up for 3. That one will sink. Nice little fadeaway spin off.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like immediately got the rebound, turned around, put it back up, just made it sink right on in there. Didn't even have to think about his shot. It just went right there for him. We had another foul called up here against the Scotties, however. That will go to Hodges for his 2nd personal and their 9th or 10th team foul.
And now Sabota will be at the line again, shooting 2. 13 seconds left in this 4th quarter. First shot is up. That will be no good, off the front of the iron, keeping that score 10-point differential.
Yeah, only 13 seconds left here. Gonna be an intense one, though. I know it.
Sabota getting ready for his second shot. Second shot is up. That one will rim out. Rebounded by Frolov. Frolov kicking it out to Sabota. Ends up floating over his head, and Olsen gets the ball. Puts it over to Hodges. Hodges up for 3. That one will sink, ending the game. Only losing by 7. I guess it does make your point differential look a little better on paper there.
Yeah, another last-minute 3 there from Freeman. In true Freeman style against the Screaming Eagles, unfortunately this time, it will not be sending them into double overtime. However, what a way to end the game, and what a game we had here today.
Yeah, the Reardan Screaming Eagles definitely pulled out a tight one today, and they ended up winning by 7 like I already mentioned.
Yeah, so that'll put them 3rd overall now, and so that will bring the Scotties to the 4th place spot, and both these teams will be heading to the state tournament, so make sure that you stay tuned and watch them throughout state. Both incredibly talented teams here. And so again, final score as we end this game is 64-57 with the Screaming Eagles walking away with the win. Don't go anywhere because we're going to see the Reardan girls play here against the Northwest Christmas Crusaders for their championship game right here on Cubs FM. So stay tuned and thank you for tuning in.